What's up, guys? It's your boy Zowoki back out with some more of the Chris Watts and Nicholkessinger video. Now, for the past almost year now, because I started taking this case on reaction, looking into things and stuff like back in October of 2023. It's almost October 2024. Over the course of this year, I do believe, I want to say wholeheartedly, that my theories have definitely changed over time. I actually haven't made a video on just me talking about where my theory is completely, which I can definitely make if you guys want me to make my own theory video. I do want to keep it obviously respectful because of the Ruseks and Shanann, Bella, and Celeste, and Nico. So if you guys would love me to do that, comment it down below. But right now we're going to look into Geneva's theory. A lot of you guys have been asking me to watch and react to this. It is the theory on the Watts case by Miss Jade. If you guys haven't watched her yet, make sure you guys check out the link in the description. I will post it down below for you guys to take a look at. But I definitely want to see what her theory is and if it aligns with mine. So, before we go any further, if you guys could do me a solid favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting that white bar icon down at the bottom right, hit that bell icon next to it. So when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that Zowoki myself has posted that video, and then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I'm so thankful. We are 60, almost now 61K strong, and it's all because of you guys. So keep on doing what you guys are doing. Again, links are in the description for Miss Jade. She hasn't posted it in a while now, but you never know if somebody's taking some time off or will come back or whatever have you. But again, the link is down in the description. With that being said, let's take a look at this theory. Now, of course, when I'm listening to this theory, I will definitely add my 2 cents. If I agree, disagree, whatever have you. I would also like for those that would like to as well, to join in and comment your guys' thoughts on theories. Please keep it obviously respectful, because I don't want to be disrespectful towards Shanann, Bella, Celeste, or Nico. But if you want to be disrespectful to Chris or Nicholkessinger, I'm okay with that. But keep it within YouTube guidelines, please. Let's continue.
What I think happened that fateful night. The body cam footage gave us the majority of the event.
Again, I'm not going to give my whole hard theory. I could definitely make a video about that. That's why I want you guys to comment down below. But I will still add my 2 cents on this. I definitely want to hear her partake on this as well. So
evidence that we have. I'm not sure if everyone has been over the 2,000-page report, but it is filled with so much bullshit.
So many times I've gone over this discovery. I feel like I'm learning things new every single day that I might have missed. It's like almost like watching a movie. You watch it once or twice and you're like, wait, I didn't see that the first time. And you watch it a 5th time, you're like, wait, that was there? It's like you're just rewatching the movie, which I don't want to watch the Chris Watts video or movie, because the Lifetime movie, I'm not watching it. People keep telling me to watch it once. I'm not watching it. I think it's wrong to remake murders into movies. I just don't think it's right. Like the whole Titanic. I mean, I should say that the Titanic. I just think it's in bad taste to make movies because you don't know if you got the truth or not. And I definitely don't think that the Ruseks were too happy about that one as well. But the 2,000 pages seems to be, it seems like it should be 2,500 pages or 2,200 pages. And we're missing 200 to 500 pages. Just out of nowhere, we're missing them. And don't even get me on the whole redacted part that they have removed and snuffed out and blanked out and so forth like that. It's ridiculous. So let's continue.
So many pages are missing. Some information is wrong, and some seems to be quite mixed up. Needless to say, we can't assume what we read in that report is 100% right. For example, in the report, Nicholkessinger Googles up Shanannwatts' name, September the 1st, 2017.
Not a typo. Like literally people will comment in my videos, which you are entitled to comment, but do not sit there and tell me this was a typo. Literally, they have showed that Nicole Kessinger actually searched for Shanannwatts and chriswatts a year before, back in 2017. It was not a typo. She actually sought out and actually Googled them, which is a big, huge thing because she's like, oh, I only knew Chris for like 6 to 7 weeks. Woman, you knew him way longer, okay? There is no doubt about that.
And then we are told the state is wrong. So what date is it supposed to be then? September the 1st, 2018?
No.
Well, that can't be right. I came across a page in the report that said Nicole's 360 Life app. When I started looking into the GPS info, I seriously believed it was Kessinger's GPS, not Atkinson. But I was pointed out by a couple of people that the video I made was not Kessinger's GPS, it was Atkinson's. They pointed out to me that the airport on my GPS was the airport that Nicole Atkinson and Shanannwatts had travelled home from that night. So
we still don't know Nicole Kessinger's GPS. They say they recovered it from her phone. I want to see where she was at that morning of the murders. Her phone pinged in Frederick, Colorado. You can't tell me that she was going to work. She didn't talk to Chris all that morning, but yet all the previous days, weeks, months before that, she called Chris every single day. And if she didn't call him, it's because he was there with her at her apartment doing the unthinkable. But we still don't have her GPS. We know where Chris's GPS was because they took his phone, they took his truck, they knew exactly where this man was at. What about Nicole Kessinger's? Nothing.
I put my video on private after realizing it wasn't Kessinger's GPS and my video was wrong. But I started getting messages from people asking what happened to the video and how they were convinced that it was Kessinger's GPS, regardless of me telling them I was wrong. Had it not been for the airport, I would still be convinced that it actually was Kessinger's GPS. June the 26th, 2018. Shanann, Bella, and Cece flew to North Carolina. Shanann's father travelled with them to help Shanann with the children. She planned to spend time with her family and Chris's family as she was in early stages of pregnancy number 3 and knew she wouldn't be able to travel soon. The trip extended to 6 weeks. Chris flew out to North Carolina on July the 1st for the final week of the 6-week vacation with Shanann and the girls. During that week, he told Shanann he no longer felt a connection with her and that he no longer wanted baby number 3, the son she was pregnant with.
The baby was his idea. Shanann probably would have never said no. She would probably game for another baby regardless anyways, but the one that literally came up with to have another child was Chris. He thought it was going to fix everything. It didn't.
On August the 7th, Chris and Shanann and the children flew back home to Colorado. On August the 8th, Chris went back to work. On August the 10th, Shanann flew to Arizona with her friend Nicole Atkinson for a Thrive weekend seminar. Chris spent Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with his girls. I don't want to get into detail about Shanann's trip or what Chris got up to on the weekend that he watched his girls. I want this video to be my theory of what happened the early hours of the morning between Shanann's arrival home and Chris leaving for work. The first body cam footage shows Shanann's suitcase at the bottom of the staircase, and the second body cam footage shows the exact suitcase now moved to the master bedroom.
So what leaves me to believe, and I'm just adding my 2 cents on here, when she came home, she dropped off the case or the suitcase and she went straight upstairs. I guarantee she went and checked on the little girls. She went and kissed them, whatever have you. They might have been sleeping or awake, whatever. She went into their bedroom, Chris's and hers. Chris was maybe in that bed or not. We don't know. We just know the sheets were gone. She must have done her usual taking off. She probably took a shower because nobody wants to have all that grossness on you when you just got back from the airport. So she must have de-dressed, showered, pajamas, went to bed. Because the pajamas I'm presume that we see is her t-shirt and the undergarments and so forth. I don't see women wearing the bras to bed. I just know from experience that I've heard is it hurts unless it's like a sport bra. But again, women like to take that off so they can feel free. Not to say anything bad about women. But again, she for some reason had a bra on because they removed it from the crime scene. So that kind of makes me peculiar that unless she was ready to get up for the day, like her normal transition that she would do from waking up to the morning, and then she was caught in the midst of having a somewhat minor argument that escalated very highly, and that's where Chris murdered her. Because I don't feel that he murdered her right when she came home, because again, she would have had been for the next, 3 to 4 hours, been deceased. I don't think so. I think he murdered her before she left. But again, it's everybody's theory. I just wanted to say that because of the bag.
Bedroom. Was Chris trying to make the master bedroom the crime scene? I would like to assume Shanann was asleep in her bed when Chris killed her, which would explain why she couldn't fight back.
I think she's caught
When I
off
started
guard.
to look at the bedding footage, it looked to me like someone had pulled the corner of the bedding and slid it off in one motion, ending up in a pile
over to the TV, and then the pillows were over on Chris's side. So they were opposite of each other. That's very weird.
on the floor that we see in the body cam footage. I came up with that conclusion when I saw the wrinkles on the sheet. They looked to me like all in a long slid motion. It made me wonder, when would this have happened if she wasn't killed in the bed? And I came with the conclusion that during the 1 minute and 10 seconds Chris was in that house alone. He goes through the garage door, leaving the officer, Nicole Atkinson, the neighbor Nate, and Nicole's son Nick all waiting outside. Notice the frustration as Nicole is waiting to be let into the house to see if Shanann is okay.
It took forever.
That's an indication that Chris took way too long to open the door. When I look at the body cam footages, I see that it should only take Chris about 15 seconds to get from that internal garage to the front door.
Something.
What could he have done during that 1 minute while he was alone in that house?
Over?
It was his only opportunity to move, hide, clean and clear anything incriminating, and fast. Which is why I believe the bedding was stripped to the floor during that 1 minute. Shanann's wedding ring placed on the side table, her phone turned off and hidden under the sofa pillows in the loft, and her Fitbit watch also hidden under the pillows. All of this in the one area upstairs. And as Chris came down the stairs, he opened the front door and let everyone in. In the first body cam footage, as everyone is waiting to get in the front door, I have watched it over and over, and I can see clearly that Chris comes down from the stairs and opens that door. It is not easy to see, but I see it. People say he would be out of breath if he did that, but to me, he was out of breath. If you look at the way he opens the door and turns...
So she thinks he came from upstairs by doing all that and then coming down? Interesting.
...away so fast, breathing heavily as he walks towards the kitchen. The detective says, "Hey,
on his phone,
can you go and check upstairs? I just want to know she's not passed out somewhere." And you hear Chris make this noise like, ugh, like my kids do when something is
But then
a
he
bother.
goes to the basement.
And instead of going upstairs like the officer
See, he doesn't even go upstairs. He goes to the basement.
asked him, he went downstairs into the basement. Then the officer said, well, hey, do you mind if I look around then? I thought
Yeah,
it
go
was
ahead.
very weird. And
That's
after
weird.
looking at the basement footage, I can see so much evidence. It became the hot spot of evidence for me. And I wondered if it was the actual scene of the crime. Canine alerted to the bottom of the stairs.
See,
And
that's where
the
the
missing
sensor
North
is.
Carolina ombre luggage that I had seen in the master bedroom during the first body cam footage had been moved down to the
Right there.
basement. The rug that the canines were barking at, rolled up and stuffed amongst the storage containers, made me think that would be something a woman would put at the bottom of the stairs over the concrete flooring of the basement in the area that the dog.
And I do believe right here is where one of the bedroom or sensors were that was tied into the router. This one was disconnected.
Dogs alerted to. The carpet cleaning vacuum was also in the area that the dog was barking like crazy, which made me think,
what if he sucked up something and it's inside the vacuum? Oh.
Chris attempted to clean that rug. He rolled it away and stuffed it away amongst those storage containers.
Why?
The basement bed being so messy. During the time of studying the basement, I noticed the pillows in the corner of the basement being a match to the pillows on the outdoor couch of the front patio area. Originally,
it could be because this patio furniture that was on the front, I don't know if you guys can see it. I can shrink it in here for you guys. So you see this thing on the porch. This is actually from a sectional set. So maybe they only put these three, and the other three that go on to make it an L shape are downstairs. That's why the pillows are downstairs. Somebody else did mention it could be the backing of these, but I do feel like I found a sectional looking couch like this on I think it was Target's website back in 2018. I've done some weird searches. I literally typed in like sectional couch like this one or whatever, and it pulled it up right away. Just because of those pillows, I wanted to see, were they removed because of some obvious reason, or were they because they didn't make the sectional couch, or they were the back part of it? I just wanted to look into it a little bit more.
I thought he may have used them to put Shanann's body on to keep her off the floor. Being an outdoor sofa, they would be waterproof and be able to be hosed off and cleaned without damage. In my video, I talked about Shanann's OCD and how someone with OCD would not leave that front porch sofa with the pillows facing in the wrong direction.
I have some PTSD. All my clothes have to be blacks to dark blues to navy to it just, or not, then it goes to red, and then it goes to, or it goes from blue to purple, and then, I mean, I have a whole color coded, so if I see this, like this couch, it would have drove me crazy.
After viewing the Ring doorbell footage, I can see that the pillows on the outdoor sofa were like that when she entered the house. I still find it very strange that the pillows would be piled up into the corner of the basement. Chris's other cell phone was found on the weightlifting bench in the basement. I feel like the basement is the crime scene, but I wondered, why would he take her down the basement stairs, knowing that he would have to carry her dead weight back up them? So before I get too off track,
because I think the autopsy report said that she was just under 150-ish pounds or whatever have you. My daughter is 154 pounds. I told her to act gone, deceased, whatever have you. I'm telling you, I have some pretty, beefy arms, some good lifting, whatever. I'm telling you, it's not as easy as you think. I know there's people on there, they're like, well, I work at a nursing home and I can move certain weight with it. Okay, I understand that you guys are like professionals at that and stuff like that, but this is a man that doesn't go from lifting dumbbells to lifting a whole woman. You guys have had practice with that. You guys know where to pull, tuck, move, slide. You guys know what to do. This man did it once in his lifetime. The man has never gone camping, okay? Until Nicole. So you're telling me from a person that is 154 pounds, give or take, to dead weight, lifting, dragging, moving, you're going to see it on the camera. We didn't see it on the camera. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Let's go back to Shanann. She has come into the house, locked the door, left her suitcase by the stairs, and walked towards the kitchen. After a long trip, hearing the water trickling out of the fridge into her cup probably made her want to pee. And being pregnant, you pee often. I believe Shanann used the toilet in the downstairs bathroom, which is where she removed her pants, leaving them off, knowing that she was about to go to bed. I think Chris had been waiting in the basement, where he had apparently been sleeping due to marital issues. Shanann wouldn't have found that strange. I think he heard Shanann go to the bathroom, and I think he came creeping up those stairs quiet as can be, leaving the basement door open. I think she would have got a bit of a fright and assumed Chris was down there, possibly standing on the top of the stairs calling out for Chris, but trying to be quiet and not wake the girls, which made her walk down into the basement thinking Chris was down there, and as he had been prior to her leaving for that 6-week vacation. I believe this is where she was attacked by Chris. I believe that the way she died was a chokehold, and learnt that when it's done right, it's very fast and effective, knocking you unconscious and unable to fight back, disabling her, which would give her attacker full control to continue the murder. But even so, I would think Shanann would have done everything possible to fight for her life and the life of her unborn son, Nico.
I don't feel that she saw it coming. She obviously said too that she didn't feel safe with Chris anymore because of what had happened and what he had said. But this does make very good sense as well.
Photographed from head to toe by the police with no indication he had been in any type of struggle or fight apart from the little scratch on his neck. It made me wonder, was that scratch from one of the children? If it was from Shanann, I would expect a lot worse markings on Chris.
See, look at it right there. Right there.
Yeah, it didn't look like a
Somebody said he had like a punctured lip or kind of thing inside here, but I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Mosquito bite. I believe that Chris wasn't wearing a t-shirt when he attacked Shanann. He would have been expecting her to fight and scratch and probably prepared himself, protecting every inch of his skin. So now we have Shanann dead at the bottom of the basement stairs. Her bodily fluids all over the rug. I'm not sure of the technical terms, so I'm just going to use my own words. I believe she shat herself, and he wasn't expecting this. I recall the detective asking him about the sheet and why it was in the trash, and his reply being something about bodily fluids. He sounded shocked by it. I think Shanann's bodily fluids missed all.
See, I've looked at these pillows. I just can't, like, you can see like possibly like this right here, this part right here on her face. You can possibly see like this, or not, right here, her face. It's like trying to look at it. It's like it's hard to look at it.
All over the rug, making Chris need to get her off the rug, knowing that every bit of fluid or blood or anything from Shanann would get him caught. Wrapping her in the bed sheets so he wouldn't see her face or her belly moving. Once Chris had control of Shanann's body, wrapped up and off the rug, Chris knew he had to clean the mess from the rug. Using the carpet cleaner we see in the basement to clean the rug best he could, he then tried to stuff the rug away amongst all the storage containers in the basement, being an area both canine units alerted to. I know it's total speculation with the rug, but I've said it before. As a female, I would have placed that big looking rug at the bottom of the basement stairs over the concrete floor, not had it stuffed away between storage containers looking very out of place. I don't think the sofa pillows were a part of his
Neither
premeditated
do I.
murder plan, but I find it odd that someone with
See, this is
OCD
the
would
same picture I said. It was a sectional, and I thought these would be on the back. This is the exact same picture I saw.
have the backrest part of the pillows off the sofa altogether and sitting down in the basement. I don't know, surely that would bother someone with OCD. I mean, I'm no OCD expert. The pantry was all labelled and lined in containers. The
She had the house
basement was so neat
immaculate.
and organised, storage containers for everything. And then we have her office and her shoe closet. That would tell a different story. It made me wonder why. Why would everything else be so spick and span, but
And then
the
her
office
office was
looked like it had
paused.
been rummaged through? So I started to look into the office more, spotting things like a cell phone and some pills. Maybe the pills possibly being put there, locked away from the children
Where's
or
the
something.
phone?
Why is it such a mess? Maybe Shanann was looking for something in a rush before
Or
she left
somebody
on her
else
Thrive
was?
trip. Even her shoe closet looked messy, like someone was searching for something. I don't know if it means much. I just thought it was a strange thing for someone
I
with
say the same
supposed
thing.
OCD to have done. I have people tell me that there is no way Chris would have been able to carry Shanann's dead weight up the basement stairs alone. But
I'm telling you, I lifted my daughter upstairs. I lifted her downstairs. I dragged her upstairs. I probably should have recorded this. I dragged her upstairs, downstairs. It is not easy, okay? I'm I would say I fairly fit on the top part. I have a dad bod part right here, but I can still lift really good. And I told her to pretend like she was dead. And she didn't move. It was a little difficult. I'll tell you that right now. But then it was difficult, to say the least, to not be seen. Like if he was out there, he would have been struggling carrying her out. And you're going to do that with a white sheet, body looking white sheet, and then people are getting up in the morning. Does that make sense?
disagree. Chris may be short, but he had been lifting weights, running, training, and done a whole 360 on his unhealthy lifestyle. I don't think Chris would struggle to carry her at all, but it made me think, when would he have lifted her from the basement? Absolutely no canines alert to the garage at all. That
That's
tells
where it's
me her body
puzzling.
never touched the garage.
That's why I was always confused, because the dogs never alerted into the garage. Never. They did in the basement. They did upstairs. Very little upstairs, but it was mostly in the basement.
Floor, or was ever kept in the garage at all. It may have passed through to be carried out to the truck. He wouldn't have had much time to clear up after taking Shanann's body to the truck. Shanann's body had to have been laying somewhere for the few hours between 1:48 a.m. and 5:15 a.m. Somewhere on something. And he was very confident that after taking her body to the truck, he would not have a mess to clean up from where the body had been. And that doesn't give us many options. I even thought that it was possible that he might have wrapped Shanann's body up and taken her out in the sheet to the patio, front patio, and put her on the ground by that outdoor sofa.
But even the risk that from this window that's over here, you have all this out here. You can't tell me that nobody saw him bring her out? These people?
Sofa where the canine unit alerted to when they first came onto the property. But I don't think Chris would take a risk like that. But then again, between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., it's highly unlikely that they would be getting visitors. But even still, I don't think he would take that risk. How about the recycle bin in the garage with no lid on it? Is it possible he put her in there to stop the body fluids messing up anything else?
I don't think so.
Or to help him get the body up the basement stairs? How
No.
about the roll of rubbish bags found in his truck? Could he have laid her on a couple of bags or covered her top half and bottom half to prevent the leakage?
Possibility.
He claimed to put the bags over Shanann so that the children didn't see her face. But he also claims that she was wrapped in a sheet.
And she had white bag. He had
I
white
get
bags
this
too.
image in my head of Shanann in two black sack trash bags, with Chris gripping at where the bags meet together, which would be the hip waist area, and carrying Shanann like a surfboard sideways, up and out of the basement. During this time, little Bella has woken up, hearing more noises than usual. I think she has come down the stairs during the time. The garage is open, the truck is backed up, and Chris is in the middle of moving Shanann's body from the basement up the stairs. Bella was known to wake up early and wake up Cece. However, I don't think Cece made it out of the house alive. Once Chris had Shanann into the truck, he knew he didn't have much time.
But we do see a little shadow. We do see a little shadow that pops up here and there.
About clearing up any obvious mess while trying to pretend to load his truck with tools, because that was the reason he gave the police for backing his truck up into the garage. And also knowing the area neighbor Nate's motion activated camera picks up. I noted that Nate the neighbor mentions Chris making conversation with him in regards to some burglaries going on in the area, work tools being stolen from the houses being built around them, and work tools being taken from the back of trucks. He claims someone even tried to jimmy with a flathead screwdriver. How could this idiot know what they used? I mean, that is like a wild guess. Why would Chris go to Nate and talk about this? It's because Chris knew Nate had a security camera pointed in the direction of his home, and Chris needed to see firsthand what that camera can actually see. Remember, Chris has a photographic memory, according to most who work with him. Chris was able to get all the info he needed with one small lie. Nate told Chris where to park his truck in order to be seen by the camera so he can watch it if anything is stolen. So after loading Shanann into the truck and throwing a few work tools in, I think Bella wandered out to the garage and caught Chris off guard. I went back to study the 2,000-page report, and I found the report saying Chris was in his driveway for 10 minutes before leaving. It also said there was no footage of him driving away because the motion-activated camera had turned off. To be honest, I don't know why there are so many mistakes in the 2,000-page report. A lot of missing pages and wrong information, and, well, a lot of unnecessary bullshit. From the very first moment the officer is called out to the wellness check of Shanann, we are given front row seats with the body cam footage. And after that, we don't get to see much more evidence. We are not able to piece together the puzzle when so many pieces are missing or wrong. I believe that Chris went into Cece's room and smothered her while she was asleep. Her autopsy reports were just so different compared to Bella's. Out of all three victims, I believe little Bella's death was the worst for Chris. Shanann was attacked from behind and knocked out within seconds, and Cece was in bed sleeping when smothered. But Bella was a murder Chris was forced to do at his worksite during limited time he had before workmates started to arrive. I think he dragged Shanann out of the truck to the dirt where he attempted to dig, and he realized.
And then some people believe that she was dug, or this hole was dug the night before, which could be a possibility.
The soil was quite hard, and no way he could dig a hole big enough to bury all three of them. I believe he went into the truck and took Cece's body to see if he could fit her through the 8-inch hole at the top of the tanks. Bella is pleading for her life. Using the blanket he had wrapped Cece's lifeless body in from her bedroom, I believe the little scratch on Chris's neck was from Bella. Bella's autopsy was different. Damage to her jaw and her tongue, scratches on her butt cheek would indicate that he struggled to get her through that 8-inch hole, as well as bits of her hair around the hole and traces of oil in her stomach.
And then he goes on to say he remembers when he could hear the splash from the oil. I just want to...
would indicate to me that Bella had died moments before being put in the oil. My theory about what happened that night. It has changed over time of following the
It
case.
does.
I guess we will never know the truth, but this is one family I'll never forget.
Amen to that one. So with that being said, guys, do you agree with her theory? Do you disagree with her theory? I definitely agree with a good amount of her theory until kind of the end. I didn't realize the whole carpet had been removed and rolled up and thrown in the back there. I don't know how that got past me. The whole garbage bags, that was kind of an interesting thing because there was white paper bags out there. There were black garbage bags, so that doesn't make sense. The whole sheets and so forth and possibly being downstairs or above stairs, it just, and a lot of people are like, well, it doesn't matter if she was killed upstairs or downstairs. Yes, technically, because somebody had to have helped him. There's no way that he was able to do this by himself. So, comment you guys' thoughts down below. Please keep them perspective. Positivity as well. No negativity. I'm sick of the bullying. Knock it off. Please keep sharing with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Please take care. Be safe. Also, don't forget to comment down below if you guys want to hear my 100% theory. I can definitely make that video, but you guys got to comment down below, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Keep it real, keep it safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we'll see you guys next time.